Hello. Okay, Mike is picking up my voice. That's great. All right. Well, it's back with Final Fantasy 14, and after God knows how long since the end of 6.0, I am finally going to start MSQ 6.1 and onwards. Yeah, it's been a while, and I think it's like what up to 6.3 now. Quite a lot of content to cover, I think, and yeah, yeah, quite looking forward to see where this story takes us, considering that we've already like saved the whole world existence as we know it from a sad blue bird. All right, let's take a look at the journal and see what is it that we left off on. Yeah, kind of ended off on a pretty good high note. Everyone's off on mandatory leave, I think. Well deserved after everything that has happened. Like, I'm pretty sure no normal person would come out of that harrowing experience unchanged. Alright, so let's see what Tataru has for us. Now, I don't know exactly what the timeline is in game, but I like to assume that after like saving the world and everything, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have gone off to do uh, basically their own things for a couple of months before returning to whatever it is that draws us back together. So let's see what Tataru has for us. A newfound venture. I'm sure this is a new outfit. Tataru is putting on a pot of tea and looks in need of company. Sylvain, how lovely to see you. If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? That would be great, Tataru. Take a seat then, and I'll find us something to nibble on as well. And coincidentally, I am sipping some tea right now. Oh, that's lovely.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around.
Uh, the reverb really drives in the point. I don't know how Tataru keeps this place in such good condition. Then again, it's Tataru we're talking about. I'm pretty sure it's probably no trouble for her to scrounge up some help.
Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors.
Ever a watchful eye, aren't you? Wouldn't have it any other way.
Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
Can't say that I have. Hell, you know how it is. A life of adventure and all that. A grand new adventure, of course. I'm still mulling over it. Yeah, no, I don't think I have any real purpose whatsoever. I'm just offering my help wherever it's required.
I hope you weren't thinking of asking me for advice. Though if you are open to suggestions, I might have one for you.
And what might that be?
You've fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats.
The very concept of despair. But that's another Tuesday for the Warrior of Light, isn't it?
For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
That sounds lovely. You're right. Who knows what mysteries are still awaiting to be discovered? That's a great idea, but where to start?
Oh, with so many exciting places to choose from, it's hard to narrow it down. But I believe I have the perfect destination in mind.
Oh, and what might that be?
Thavner. That's where you should go next.
Thavner is quite a pleasant place, actually.
I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzat the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Vritra would be pleased to see you.
To be fair, the last time I was there, we kind of got one of his agents eaten by a monster.
Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
Ah, it's a boy I'm silk. Or Hades, I would say.
As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world.
Right, you are, Tataru.
In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress.
I think the last 2 or 3 times he presented us with outfits, they've all been wonderful pieces. So let's see what you have.
Shouldn't take much longer now, though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
You're a best, Ataru.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care.
That's pretty cute.
Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement.
That I am.
I'm one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across.
We are being called out. Not my fault that animals automatically deposit their skins into my pockets.
Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
A mimir. Oh no. What horrible nightmares have we conjured up this time?
And thus I am returned.
Ah, you're awake.
Yeah, this is something that's slightly amusing about how tense and dramatic that cutscene was, and then the subtitle for this chapter of our story is A Newfound Adventure. Like, yes, I'm pretty sure the demonic presence was nothing to be worried about.
My apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing.
You know, I really wish that we had the option to like kind of just like kneel down a little bit, just to like speak with Tataru like at eye level, so she doesn't have to crane her neck upwards every time. I'm sure that can't be good for her joints, considering how much like she has to stare upwards just to speak to my character.
You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga? Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
We shall. Honestly, Tataru truly is the strongest scion. Yep, since the last time I streamed, I finished the Warring Triad series of trials. So that was Sephiroth, Sophia, and Zervan. Zervan? Yeah, Zervan. And there was a little bit of extra quests after finishing that story arc with Syla, Silva in the Crystarium. So who knows? Maybe the next expansion will do something about like saving the 13th. It'd be pretty nice. Like the bounty hunters from the Shadowbringers role quests had such potential. I really do hope that they make a return as like main characters. Observe as the artiste refines her piece into a masterpiece. And no napping this time. I only need a moment. You'll see. A little more room in the shoulders, open up the cuffs, a final adjustment to the hem. All done. Let's see how it looks on the mannequin. There it is. Well, what do you think? Doesn't it just scream ready for a bold new adventure? It's perfect. I'm so glad you approved. So, what did I owe you? Oh, don't be silly. Your approval is payment enough. If you really want to thank me, though, all I ask is that you wear this on your travels. Or at least anywhere lots of adventurers might gather. I look at you, a famous hero, and wonder, wherever did he purchase those stylish yet practical garments? And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at Taru's boutique. I can hear it now. The merry clink of gil overflowing from my coffers. Sweet music to my ears. Perfect. Actually, let's see whether we can drive in on here. Yes, we can. It is a very nice cape. In fact, it's actually very similar to the one that my avatar has. Except it's not sewn up at the center, in the middle over here. Yeah, you can see a nice little split down the middle. Exactly the same kind of cape that I have. Lovely. I wonder if that's like a chunk of ether, right? Burgeoning merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh new chapter of your life. new places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant. Or if one day you'll take a blow to the head and forget the better part for the past decade. Something to keep in mind, in any case. Collection expanded. The unending codex. Oh, amazing. Exactly what I was hoping for. To be fair, I probably would have been aware of this if I actually read patch notes, but I don't, so... Right. Tataru Taru, Scion of the Seventh Dawn, Coin Keeper. Though publicly known as the organization's receptionist, Tataru also serves as the Scion's Coin Keeper, a role she executes with an enthusiastic cunning that borders on the terrifying. It doesn't just border on the terrifying, she is very terrifying. Born to Uldan merchants, the young Tataru had everything a Loveville could ask for, until her family lost it all to bankruptcy. Plagued by debt and still smarting from this abrupt introduction to the harsh realities of the Sultanate, she apprenticed herself to a lapidary at the age of 12, and henceforth supported the household with her meager earnings. It was during this period when she met Minfilia, a miner come to sell gems and ore, who would later recruit Tataru to oversee the Path of the Twelve's finances. Tataru, in turn, resolved to use her newfound position not only to accrue personal wealth, but also to serve others. Indeed, when the Path of the Twelve relocated to the Waking Sands, and her role was expanded to include secretarial duties, she used her considerable social acumen to build relationships and increase its influence. As the organization slowly but surely grew into an association of like-minded and gifted souls, she was instrumental in seeking out potential members blessed with the Echo. After the seventh umbral calamity, when the Path of the Twelve emerged with the Circle of Knowing to form the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, Tataru continued her tenure as secretary and coin keeper combined. When the political situation in Ulda drove the Scions from their headquarters for a time, she journeyed with Alphino and the Warrior of Light to Ishgard, that they might there regroup and rebuild the organization. Later, she accompanied the contingent of Scions to the Far East, where she established ties with the East Aldenar Trading Company's Kurgani branch in order to fund local anti-imperial resistance efforts, one of her many laudable ventures on the Scions' behalf. Privately, Tataru has long regretted her inability to assist her comrades in martial endeavors, and thus sought to train as an organist. Alas, these efforts met with misfortune, including the escape of a carbuncle companion, and so she has since resolved to provide financial support through trades such as mining and weaving. In so doing, she has become something of a master artisan, going so far as to establish her own boutique in Old Charlene. Yet she always manages to find the time to fashion new outfits for her Scion friends when they stand poised upon the threshold of journeys new. Speaking of that carbuncle, I've not done that quest myself per se, but I remember reading somewhere that apparently, until now, that carbuncle is still running around somewhere, which kind of hints to how powerful Tataru can actually be, considering that they kind of like dissipate or unsummon themselves after a while. Scions of Seventh Dawn. This secret society was the product of a merger between the Circle of Knowing, led by Louisville Leveilleur, and the Path of the Twelve, led by Minfilia Ward, following the Seventh Umbral Calamity. Working in concert with the leaders of Eorzea, the Scions strove to address the myriad problems that plague the realm, be it the godlike primals, the imperialistic guardians, or the scheming Asians. beings who have long shaped history from the shadows. As a means to achieve its objectives, the Society sought out those blessed with the Echo, mysterious power with myriad manifestations, the most notable of which was the ability to walk in the memories of others. It was for this reason they extended an invitation to the Warrior of Light. On account of their contributions in dealing with several primals and the 14th Imperial Legion, the Scion's existence became public knowledge. Utilizing their newfound reputation, Alphino Levier founded the Crystal Braves, a military organization intended to pave the way for a unified Eorzea. However, the Society's activities had made it the target of a monetarist faction of Uldar, and an elaborate betrayal by Alphino's presumed allies resulted in the Scions being framed for the Sultana's assassination. Though branded fugitives and scattered for a time, they eventually learned of a plot within the plot, and saw the monarch put into a deep slumber rather than slain, and succeeded in clearing the names. Their honor restored, the Scions went on to become key players in the liberation of Alamigo and Doma from Imperial rule. And after helping to avert the final days, they judged the mission fulfilled. So it was that they announced their disbandment, at least outwardly, and retreated from plain sight to labor in secret once more. The final days. This dreadful calamity befell the star in the distant past, when it was known as Aetheris. In that shining age, man had the power to manifest anything at will, even living beings. And through this miraculous creation magic, the civilization thrived. One day, however, following a keening sound from the land, the magics ran rampant, giving form to eldritch horrors born of fear and despair. Their blissful lives became a waking nightmare, and mankind was driven to the brink of extinction. The Convocation of 14, the people's chosen representatives, observed that the phenomenon manifested where the celestial currents, the star's outermost flow of ether, had grown weak and stagnant. In order to address this deficiency, they summoned forth the mighty Zodiac to exert control over the laws of creation. For this act demanded a high price, the sacrifice of half of mankind's remaining number. The vast majority willing rendered up their lives, and thus were the final days forestalled. Over the intervening millennia, this star-encompassing calamity had faded from memory, faced with its second coming as engineered by the Telephoroi. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn embarked upon a desperate quest for the truth. At length, they discovered that an ancient named Hermes had created Meteon, a being capable of traversing the great expanse to ascertain the meaning of life by seeking out other civilizations in the universe. Alas, Meteon and her sisters found naught but despair, driving them to conclude life was suffering and death, sole mercy. Fleeing to the edge of existence, they became the End Singer, and proceeded to unleash the power of Dynamis, an esoteric energy set in motion by feelings to usher all stars to their doom, that life need not continue in vain. Despite seemingly insurmountable odds, the Scions held fast to hope, and amidst darkest despair lit the wave o'er their champion as they confronted the Endsinger at her nest. And at the end of a fierce battle, they emerged triumphant and put an end to the final days once and for all. That was a great quick exposition, really, for everything that's gone on from 1.0 till present. mean, granted, there is a lot of things that happen in between, but these are basically the main pieces of information that we need to know. For like the main secrets or events, I suppose. The main players on the stage. Granted, they didn't mention anything about the Dragon Song War, but that's a story for it in itself. And as well as the potential rejoining of the first, but another calamity averted. New entries of prominent terms and characters will be added to the codex as you progress through the main scenario quests. Well, let's see here. Collections. There we go. Unending Codex. Alright, with that in mind, I'm gonna be right back and get some water. Cup's empty now. So I'll be right back. In the meantime, do enjoy the music here. Maldona is quite a nice place when it comes to BGM, I think. Alright, so I shall return in a bit. Okay, I have returned. Alright, let's get back into it. Bountiful Ruins. Totaro has some advice to share with you. As the former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumors to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best place to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present, I only have a broad destination in mind. When you arrive at Fafnir, I suggest you explore your options at Marie's Mayhan, the finest drinking establishment at Rad's at Han. Charm the employees, and they'll not only point you in the direction of the local tale-tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening the tongues. I really must be getting back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Sylvain, and may fair fortune find you. Alright, farewell, Totaro. Speak with Malil and married to Mayhan. Mayhan? Hey, the rights is right here. Ah, Married Mayhan. Actually, I wonder whether that's like an actual word. Let me take a look. It is an actual word. It's a traditional restaurant or bar in Turkey and rest of the Balkans. Azerbaijan and Iran serves alcoholic beverages. The word means house of wine and is composed of two Persian words. How do I pronounce it? Let me see what it is. Video to pronounce. Yeah, Mihani.
Mayhain.
Mayhain? Okay.
Mayhane.
Nope. Mihani.
Meyhane.
Okay, so pronunciation for it is Mihani. Let's see, last time I was here, I believe Stidian was sitting in the corner there, but it's no longer there. It is what it is. Welcome to Midread's May Honey. Greetings. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find you a table. Something something, rumors, something something. Ruins beneath the bounty. Would you be speaking of the sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you about it. Ah, there he is. Professor Jalin. I thought I saw him come in. Although a somewhat private sort, the professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for the Mihani's unique beverages. Offer him a drink from a selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the vault to seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy for him is on the house, by the way. If Merides found out I took a coin from Vervner's savior, she would have me scrubbing paws for a week. So Merides herself has a quest to provide. A bond eternal. I'll to keep that in mind. But for now, MSQ awaits. Maybe one day I'll decide, I'll stream all these side quests. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yep, look at that. Bavner's a beautiful country. Yes. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finding registrations. Begin speaking with Jalhin. Okay, let's go. I love cutscenes. And what may I do for you, my chosen friend? Oh, just a friendly chat. How about a drink? Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are, one of Meride's finest. I saw Milieu sneaking up behind us over there. Very MVP over. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. My man's gulping it down, man. It's really just gulping it. Chugging well. Jolene empties the cup in a single pull. Impressive. But was very kind of you, sir. But I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? I wish to speak with you about the treasure vault beneath the bounty. Oh, chasing down that hotel, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurers at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you heard of Al-Zadal? He was Khan of the Ori tribe which sailed into Thavner from the mainland, and a key figure of the history of Ratahan. Oh boy, that has one very pointy hat. His decision to aid the Arkasodra is what ultimately won them the war against the Chasura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundations of this thriving city-state. Oh man, my nose tickles. The truly fascinating stories, however, concerns his grandson, Alcedal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap at Radzahan in earlier days. Now I keep missing the enunciation. Rods at Han. Some attest that this man traveled to another world entirely and returned with glittering riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with a certain worm of the first brood. Then there is the tale of the sunken vault, the one that you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alcedal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzathan, folk would remember the tale of hidden treasure. Hearty souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Oh, I like the eyebrow raise. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in. Oh, my cup appears to be empty. Lil, another round for the professor. Ah, I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the professor. Oh, ho, ho. Today was a splendid day to visit the Mihane. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Ah. Yes, those who did return from seeking the treasure vault flatly refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend, and the golden lure of grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama is a fellow connoisseur of spirituous potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear. But he did have... I can't say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to your death, I could never live for myself. I am no stranger to peril, if that helps. Yes, that's so. Perhaps it's your turn to tell the tale then. What manner of dangers have you faced? I don't know, I think to recent memory, the final days of beset Fafnir. The very edge of existence. From anyone else, I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need nothing to sell my nerves. Will you? Oh, more of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one's on your coin, Professor. Jolene drains yet another cup dry. Ooh, my man's lost in the sauce. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose you wouldn't hurt to share a little more. The friend of Jonas, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. Seems you could only get it from some merchant. What's his name? Bah, I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my to you, my new best friend with your portraits. Oh, think of water instead. Maybe they are liking that wink animation on the. So what's gonna show off the animations all again. Actually, I don't think winking is like a new expression. But I do like how we can personify our Warrior of Light as being the cheeky sort. All things considered, that like up till Endwalker, I believe, or if even up to the end of Endwalker, I've always chosen the more serious dialogues. I suppose saving the world from the final days as we know it. You gotta loosen up a little, you know? Being tense all the time can't be good for your health. Ah, my blush, I am parched. Zhang gulps down a cup of water. That was water. You bring her to tell me water. Tell her to bring me water. Still, that's probably for the best. Very kind of you, really. My head will certainly thank you in the morning. Ugh, I seem to have overindulged. I am put in mind of the words of Master Joltan. Be wary of how much you drink. Be wary of the whoa. I am having difficulty reading. Be wary of how much of the drink you swallow, lest it swallows you. Sean Connery, forgive me. I will subject you to more of these unseemly antics. If you want to speak with Azama, well, as I said, we share a taste for Mehani's fine spirits. He probably came in as we were talking. I wish you fortune in finding your fortune. You appear to have learned that Jiangyin has to share regarding. No, you appear to have learned all that Jiangyin has to share regarding the Undersea Vault. To find out more, you will need to locate a man by the name of Azama. Perhaps I should find myself a new pastime. Probably have to talk to every single one of these men over here. Anyway, Azama's is right there. The professor was able to help you, I hope. Yes, indeed. You're Azama? Yes, I am Azama. And who might you be? Friend of Jolene. All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search for Alzadal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. Also, I understand that this is like a life of adventure and all, and it's quite common to seek your fortunes through peril, but losing a friend, regardless, is still a terrible thing. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for that. I tried to sway him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And that look in his eyes. I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Alzdal's third's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you, too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. Oh, greetings, my dwarven friend. I am doing alright. It's been just a little bit aching all over. It's been a hard day of training yesterday. And today I am here, in search of lost treasure, sunken deep under the waters. Under the sea, somewhere out there. Apparently there's otherworldly treasure to be found, and that's what I'm doing right now. Searching for clues for it, at least. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of the endeavor. So I will tell you what my friend has told me. How he convinced the merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems that this merchant, one Zashal, I believe, is selling a map which shows the exact route. But my friend's purse was too light for his exorbitant price. With what meager wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty, and within those ruins hides the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Alzdal's Alzdal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. It's tragic. And what of you, my friend? How fare you? Pretty. What's happening here?
Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness? So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name.
While I do not enjoy his smug expression, he is in the right here. He's a merchant after all, he can't just be giving his wares for free. That's it. Typical trope is that this treasure map might not even be real.
This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away.
Wow. Hey Sneaky, how are you doing?
Be glad I am no such king boy. You're scrawny-eyed and never return with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim?
Actually, now that I see this playing out, I think this dude in rags is probably hired by this merchant to upsell his treasure map. A little all too common tactic, I think.
How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map!
Ah, I knew
Whatever
it.
they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
Come on now. Playing your hand a little too heavy there, I think. Oh no, it's a Stinian.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
Stinian, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
Stinian, I think you might have been had.
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure.
'Tis good to see you well, Stinian.
But why Thavner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the Bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I fleece one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
I never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavner what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove.
Passionate as ever.
Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant.
I really should have given you more credit. You are pretty sharp. But then again, you did. Actually, no. I suppose exorbitant amount that you spend on the hairband is really just a good reason to give a little more to those in need. Very weird to hear the English dub. Alright, yeah, I think you play in JP, don't you? Welcome to the stream, Oliora. How are you doing on this fine, very warm Monday night? Yeah, personally, I do like the English dub myself. Just came back from work. A long day, I assume. Well, I hope you do get a good rest today. Oh, now that you're home safe. Have you had dinner yet? Yeah, a lot of calls today. Oh, awful. Working hard.
Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
Hoping no one calls tomorrow. Yeah. I suppose we all do hope it for slow days, but that's it, right? Like, not that I enjoy having a lot of work to do. It's just after like several continued days of like not having anything to do, it can get very mind-numbing. So it has to be a bit of a healthy balance, but considering how busy you've been today, I do hope that you have a easier day tomorrow.
You are coming along, yes?
Oh, Westinian, don't tempt me like that. I was thinking today would be a slow day, but then suddenly everyone and their mother started walking. Oh no. This is like the same like energy as like someone walking in like 5 minutes before closing time. Oh no, but store is not closing yet, right? So I can order like a full meal. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. Like walk in like a few minutes before a restaurant closes and go in for place a large order. But sometimes everyone walk in the moment everyone's walking in when I walk up in and up until it close. Oh no. I will go somewhere else, please. Yeah, I'm just thankful that I haven't worked in like a retail or any sort of like customer facing jobs. Actually, that's not true. I worked at the bank once as a customer service staff like many years ago. Life is rough, but it is what it is. Yeah, well, money doesn't grow on trees, and we all have bills to pay. Nothing else to do but just to bear with it, I suppose. Right, Ben, shall we split the expenses?
I appreciate the concern, but one thing I've learned from my time with the Scions is how to better manage my coin purse. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
Actually, let me switch glams for a bit. A little bit more casual. Although, then again, I do kind of want to like put on that new outfit that Tataru gave us. You will recall I spoke of visiting Thevner at Vivra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast, and made his proposal once I was too full of Hunnish delights to refuse. Wishes me to train the Raiden host in lance work. But that is a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Matsuya is a fisherman by trade, yes. We should head to Akali and see if he can help us. Oh, still doing the RP walk. So there's still so many regions to explore. That's it, after the final days are over, the coasts of Thevner is a really nice place to take photos. Look at that. Alright, well, onwards, back to Akali. Oh, students are already in full armor. I'm hoping to hire a ship course rather than buy one. My funds will not stretch quite that far. Oh no, I feel like I don't know one out of it. Back to Dark Knight it is. My friend, what brings you to our humble village? Something something bounty, something something ship. So you need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins. Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favor. Wait here. I'll have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Yeah, Matsuya is a true champ. Have you noticed our little shadow? He's been following us ever since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Come on, no need to be shy. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walked so you not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Thevner? You are. I know you are. And I've gone and cheated you. I work with Zashal, you see. You see, the map, merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done, and beg for your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I would never have. Well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here who was seeking those very ruins. You are kind to overlook the wrong I have done you. But there is more you need to know. The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zashal selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, above the ruins, above the vaults, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... well... now you've gotten me and cry. We couldn't invite our comrades. Might need a hand moving the treasure. Yeah, I'm not definitely gonna poke fun at student for it. Look what you did, you've gone and made me cry. I did not. That was not my intention. Oh, very well. Assuming we do find this treasure hoard, it may prove wise to have more hands along for the carrying. Any ideas on whom to approach? The Scions have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Stola? I don't know whether Stola would be interested in, actually, I think they all would be. Rahatia and Kryl. He definitely wants to go on an adventure with us, that's what I know. Alpha and Elise wouldn't pass up or to a chance to impress our Warrior of Light. Thancred and Urianger are just like solid bros all around. Well, I think I'll go with Raha and Kryl, considering that... Actually, no, if we... I was thinking of the end of Shadowbringers. Tough pick. I mean, I would say it's all of them, but if you have to pick one, I think Stola would be a good choice. At least between the three of us, there would be at least one brain cell, or more than one brain cell. Yeah, Stola would be a good choice. Stola. Her magics would be a welcome addition, but I am loath to interrupt her research. Perhaps we could ask a less prickly companion. Thancred and Urianger, I suppose. Thancred and Urianger, eh? Those two would answer our call, certainly. But they left the Rising Stone to the definite task in mind. I'm loath to interrupt their self-appointed mission. Let's go with Gratia and Kryl. Kryl may have her hands full in rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to Graha, he'll surely leap at an invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is as strong as you. Is he though? Strong, I mean? What is your name, boy? Merad, sir. Well, Merad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do. What choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Yeah, I mean, off and on, I would say I'm kind of busy in rebuilding, or helping with people of Tertium, so I suppose that will be what Stidham would have mentioned. Although I really wish I could have read what the actual dialogue said. Stidham is, I think he is not as gruff as he makes out to be. Curiosity is getting to me. I really do have to take a look at what the dialogue was going to be if I had picked Alpha Non LZ. Bountiful Ruins. Let's see. If I picked Alpha Non LZ, the dialogue, Stidham's response would be, "A little Lord Alphanon, sister, were they not bound for Garlemald? They have far more important matters to attend than delving for trinkets." Okay. Just needed to scratch that itch of knowing what it was said. Okay. Giant Popoto pancakes. Ooh. Baked alien soup. Sicon salad. I shall leave you to recruit Graha. They'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based in the Annex. Someone there ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Let us be off to Merad. Do me a favor and don't stray from the path. Okay, time to teleport back to the Valdesian Annex. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back, Sylvie. What might the students do for you? Graha. Yes, he's in the main hall with Mistress Crumb. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go in and give them an excuse to take a break. Knock knock, anyone home?
Ah, Urgica, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
And that's a good time for you to take a break if you're starting to hallucinate. How's the restoration of the students coming along?
Slow and steady. Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We were able to locate several accounts in the archives of Numenon, but the bulk of our documents was lost along with the Isle of Fowl.
But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around?
Well, of course not. I come here bearing a gift. Of adventure.
The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition. I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which, I had hoped to ask for your assistance.
My assistance I will gladly give.
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
Groha was this close to exploding.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already.
Yes, we are.
Have you asked anyone else to come along? Then might I suggest we invite your Stola? Ever since the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Google Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger.
Oh yes, we definitely have to invite Wilmtrix here with us.
He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like.
Oh, that's coincidence. What a coinkydink.
From what I can gather, the Loperites wish to build their own vault for the people of Atheris to explore, and are looking for inspiration to help make it a memorable experience.
Commoditized dungeon exploring.
So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Sounds like a good idea.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Of course.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
And the Baldian Annex theme is such a vibe. wait, I just remembered something. Right, yes, I completely forgot I also wanted to do the Pandemonium side quests. I don't know whether I should stream that. Perhaps I should. Or I could do that in off stream during my free time. There's a Beavis here. Where's Butthead? Oh, Pudding Way. Come here. I guess my pudding wasn't needed to stop penalties after all. But I persevere. Once people taste it, they'll be even happier than they were before the apocalypse started. I just know it. Actually, no, I think I will probably do Pandemonium on my off stream, otherwise I'll never get anything done. Well, she wasn't hard to find, at least. Oh no. Having a cat nap, if you would. What is that? Let's see. Was there a way to zoom in all the way into first person? Actually, before I continue, I'm going to do this, like, look it up real quick to see whether if I can zoom in all the way. Home key, I see. It's under general switch first person when fully zoomed in. Okay, cool. Let's see. System configuration. Was this some configuration? Or was it character configuration? Let me take a look. Yep. Over here. What's this? Alright, cool. That's truly a premiere. Okay. One more setting that I want to look for is the AFK camera. Auto AFK settings under system configuration. Oh, nope. I think this should be the one. Okay, very cool. Alright, let's test that out. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Alright, let's continue. Shh, she's sleeping.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
It puts a smile on my face. She wakes.
Close my eyes for one moment. Ow!
Oh no.
How long have you two been here?
You love to see it. Catching up on some light reading.
Something to that effect. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Just me with stream stuttering. Let me take a look. Might be you actually, because looks fine on my end. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's... Let me see. Yeah, no, I think, unfortunately, I think it might just be on your end.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me?
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world.
Browse has been sus. Oh, it is what it is.
If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Achiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
Oh, she's excited. The entire pile of books there. The poor mammoth. No. I think this is a little better. Barrel roll. Alright, yes. The spaceship. That's such a cool reveal. I don't see Thancred anywhere. Was he not supposed to be traveling with Urianger? I visited Labyrinthos on several occasions recently. I've not set foot in Thomzine since the day we boarded the Ragnarok.
Our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
Some Thancred with you. It's good to see you well.
And thee. As ever, thou art the picture of strength.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperids had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
have learned of my predicament from Mistress Kryl. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperids now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon? So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation.
I love the moon rabbits.
But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos?
I decided to recruit you for treasure delving.
Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Estinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
That's...
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
Oh, Fangrid! My boy, Fangrid.
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
You're looking well.
That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loperids.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Please let us invite Fangrid. I don't want to leave him out of it. He would just be like sad old dude.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Ah, the thrill of imminent adventure. I never tire of this feeling. Just imagine the possibilities. In my travels, I spied many a child wandering alone. Orphans in all likelihood. For homes raised by beasts and blasphemies can be rebuilt. The void left by those we have lost cannot so easily be filled. I will pray to Sandruva for your safe return. May the wealth of her blessings guide you to the treasure you seek. I sent you to recruit Graha, and you returned with an entire survey party. Oh, Amantis' boat is sturdy enough to carry us all. What he means is, we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. We are more than glad for the chance to provide it. I only ask that you take care to steer clear of the reefs in the shallows there. Aye, we will keep an eye out. Despite his misgivings, I wager Amira remains in that merchant's employ. Alzdal's legacy. Shola is intrigued by the legend of Alzdal III. Alzdal III. I confess I'm somewhat embarrassed by that tale of his journey to another world escaped my notice. Could it be more than simple folklore? And what the treasure he supposedly brought back? This undersea vault may hold relics from another reflection. My friends, we should temper our expectations. The map doth promise ruins, but beyond that we know not what we will find. Not until we find it, aye. So let us dispense with the conjecture. Set sail for the vault. Regular duty. Okay, oh, get it. One can only spend so many days hunched over a desk before it begins to take its toll. A spot of vigorous exploration is exactly what I needed. I'm aware that this story is about an otherworldly journey. May be just that, a story. Even the wildest tale often contains a few grains of truth, and that is worth investigating. A treasure vault of the satrap will surely be filled with diverse traps and devilish deterrents. Caution is paramount. None who enter these ruins come out alive. Well, we shall see about that. Okay, got one healer. DPS. Okay. Yeah, I think they're fairly balanced.
Right then.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real! Actually, this pretty much is One Piece, isn't it? It was like finding like missing treasure. Time to learn just how authentic our map really is.
Gloves are off.
Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone!
Be quite a bit of a brawl considering that I don't think the trusts can handle big pools well.
hold back!
Be gone! Be gone! Be gone!
This will hurt.
It's a giant jellyfish. I see.
Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Nothing! Be gone!
I will not hold back!
Be gone!
I will not hold back!
Okay, I'll wait.
Be gone! All or nothing!
If only happiness with patching up the tried Russians. I'd rather not. Oh look, it's that teleporter. There is salt crusted teleporter. Under the sea. Teleports you deep beneath the waves. Oh. Impressive. List of passage detected, confirming bearer's identity.
Together we shall overcome this.
Prison thief, you will see. Oh. Getting quite crowded here.
Together we shall overcome this. Be gone! Be gone!
Oh right, no, it's oh wait, I picked it up already.
Together we shall overcome this. Make ready! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone!
Sure. Nice. Five, 7, 5.
Be gone! Be gone!
Together we shall overcome this.
Quad trap. Quad trap that also level 14. Amazing. I must needs memorize these defenses. You're really quite serious about this consulting role, Bruce. Tomorrow, this Altar expedition.
I will end this farce.
Be gone!
Away with you!
Be gone!
I will not hold back!
That's new. Yeah, I could do that.
Be gone!
This will hurt.
Gotta say, this boss has some really big AoEs. Routines, behavioral patterns. There's my short board. Alright, let's proceed. Alzadal's Guardian. Yeah, I think I can probably handle this crowd, hopefully.
back.
You underestimate me!
Oh. Kinda get close, but yeah, I think 2 packs is just about the limit of it, and I really have to know what I'm doing. In this case, I kinda use like all my medication already. Oh. Uh-oh. Mimics!
Be gone!
Nice. I feel like I've missed the treasure chest like there. I'll take a look. I missed the treasure chest and room full of treasure. Very amusing. Nope, none here. Guess it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. Yes, I'm gonna take a look at all this gold. Crusty. Very crusty gold. Okay, well. Onwards. Ah, there's one. Let's herd them into a little fighter group. Oh.
Be gone!
Hidden wall. Aluminum reward. Capicule. Oh, nice. Alright, let's take out this boss. It's like traps on the ground.
Gloves are off.
Oh, that is colorful. Oh, that almost said, okay.
Be gone!
I will not hold back.
Be gone!
Oh, I do not like this. You have chosen death. Ah. The hell you're still like real mad about that. Match.
Be gone! Be gone!
Very nice. I did include like like extra party members like running in from the back. Have you any dialogue? Hidden room within a hidden vault. What's this place? Oh no, it fractured in. A fitting sentinel. I suppose that is the otherworldly treasure up there. Curious as to what it may be. I'll check out what the code looks like later.
What have we here?
Whatever it is, it certainly screams do not open.
'Tis not unlike a Harnish alchemical furnace in design.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Oh, Marshan.
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret. Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our union. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters?
Certainly not.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
I wasn't going to touch it, but you know you're Stola.
You and I will speak later.
I'll have to remember to come back here to clip that.
Not the time for frivolity, my friend. Not the time.
This something of which thou speakest, might it be some manner of threat?
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Ugh. What is that?
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
No, my friend. Small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
Perhaps our journeys may take us to the 13th after all. I came here in search of something that might further my research. Did not anticipate a fully functioning void gate. Can such a tiny portal truly be so dangerous? Even in all the learned halls of Charlatan, it is forbidden to throw wide the gates into the abyss. The peril is far too great. I expect you have more questions. Void gates and fissures are much the same thing in practice, in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th. difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of the creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is a product of deliberate action. I suspect this is the latter, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think that our search for material riches would lead to this priceless discovery. That swirling emptiness. It puts me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Nice. Perhaps I might linger a touch longer. Right, before I progress to the quest, I got some messages to reply to. I shall be right back. Okay. Alright, perhaps let's yeah, I think we could probably wrap up around this chapter of the story, but let me first progress this. Vishal is appraising the void gate with a scholarly eye.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities.
Hey, I just did a warring try just a couple of days ago.
In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ajdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength. I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radzat-Han was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no. What I found was a host of Void-sent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Radzat-Han and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy siblings scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness. turned purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether. Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the First Brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection. So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Ah yes, wouldn't be Final Fantasy without emotional turmoil. I wonder how one of the First Brood could simply vanish and leave no trace of a passage. Now I have my answer. Reacher's grief for a lost sibling will be no mystery to Estinian. His have been a life entwined with sorrow, even before he became the host to Nidhogg's essence. 13th, what chaos must consume that world. Millennia have passed since I last saw her, but I see Asjaya in memory still, clear and vivid. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the guardians you so handily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. Ah, my apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That would not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, keep duplicate guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Radzat Han. To the High Crucible. No. Let's just walk there. is inside bell X minus Lux. Yep. Oh, that's a nice winter outfit, I suppose. There is much about the Void Gate that I cannot begin to explain. I must convince Reacher to share everything he knows. While I'm loath to keep Kral waiting much longer, I cannot bring myself to leave before hearing more of Reacher's tale. It was a most enjoyable expedition, for which I am grateful. As for mine evaluation, I shall impress upon the Lockbrits that a treasure vault is incomplete without daunting the sentinels, to test the mettle of any would-be intruders. Reacher speaks as if Ashdaya is a lost cause, but I wager he feels differently in his heart of hearts. This is quite the gathering. To what do we owe the pleasure? I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault Sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kabikulu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. It's tomb robbers. Beings born from Tower Zod. Path sisters do not tell me a blasphemy, yet roams free. Oh, that's so nice. Why such guilty faces? Surely it is you who are responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. And with that, the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions. Quite a few, in fact. But I'd like to begin with the gate itself. It is still functional, yes. Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of voidsent, and from this side no man would be able to pass through. No man. I should think Alphina would fit, given a firm enough push. Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. Yet you succeed in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists. I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead, I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. The method was conceived by which my magics can manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Ashtaya, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken, and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void set, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. Mayhap you could resume your search for your sister. As I have already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. Ah, I hadn't meant to ask. What prompted you to search the vault for in the first place? It was almost Dinan's idea. As I recall, it was you who was chasing tales of undersea ruins. Well, as you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not its root origin. I'm afraid I must assert a private claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little. By the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. Then we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend? Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You are most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loporits will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. And I must be off to Charlotte as well. Ral was eager to speak with you about the request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you are able. Farewell for now. We can discuss my findings once I return. You will not be rid of me so easily. May now undertake a chronicle of a new era quest series, Myths of the Realm. Speak with a fresh-faced student at Baldur's and Annex to accept the first quest. I hope you enjoyed the expedition at least. Otherwise it was a heavy purse to pay for a treasure map leading to a treasure we couldn't keep. The difficult part in all of this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Anything to make up for the constructs we broke? Then think of your employment as recompense. Serve me as guest advisors, and I will consider the broken constructs paid for in full. Sylvain and I are in this together. I will follow his example. Well, that will be it for today. I think that was a pretty good start to a new journey. Alright, this is complete. Oh, what's this? Meanwhile, elsewhere. Ooh, or what this shadowy being is. I sensed the breaching of a gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes. But such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, coming of which we have awaited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yes, we must not underestimate he who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, thou was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Ah, let him come. I'll drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp of breath in his final moments. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath this sunless sky. Remember why we see not our will to fight. 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star.